Talk to you about a very sad event that never should have happened. Let me first introduce you to Micaela Coronel. She's 25 years old. She's in the United States illegally on an expired work visa according to ICE. ICE has put a hold on her as a result of her criminal conduct yesterday. And here's what happened. At about 7:50 in the morning, Mariana Perez Boroto, who's only 13 years of age and in 8th grade, was riding her bicycle to school on Homosassa Road in Poinciana. Micaela, by her statements to our traffic homicide team, said there was condensation covering about 80% of her windshield, and she did not even see this child, Mariana, and she hit her, struck her with a vehicle. Paramedics tried as best they could to save her life. She made it to the hospital in Osceola County and was airlifted to Arnold Palmer in exceptionally serious condition, critical condition, where she passed away from her injuries. We have arrested Micaela and charged her with operating a vehicle without a driver's license, causing death, which is a third-degree felony. But here's the bottom line. When you look at this set of circumstances yesterday, she's here in the country illegally on an expired work visa, according to ICE. In addition to that, she's operating a motor vehicle and she has no driver's license. She runs over and kills a child, a beautiful young child. And as a result, we've got her in jail, but nothing's going to bring that beautiful 13-year-old girl back to her family. She should have been celebrating her 14th birthday in about 2 weeks, but she won't. Instead of the family celebrating the 14th birthday of Mariana, they're going to be burying her. And it frustrates me very badly. She's here illegally. She's operating a motor vehicle illegally. And as a result, she runs over and kills a child. This simply wouldn't have happened had she been in her country of origin, Argentina. This simply wouldn't have happened if she hadn't been operating a motor vehicle. This simply wouldn't have happened if she'd have cleaned the windshield before she drove down the road so she could have seen the child riding her bicycle to school. Am I frustrated? You bet I'm frustrated. Here's one more example of someone illegally in this country, clearly violating the law, and runs over and kills a child, a 13-year-old child. There is no excuse. There is no excuse. Any questions?
So what happens to her? She makes first appearance today.
She goes to first appearance today. The judge will set a bond. There's a hold on her by ICE. ICE will come over and pick her up and then put her in federal custody, where she'll be held until the disposition of her criminal case here, and then she'll be dealt with by ICE for illegally entering the country and committing a third-degree felony here.
What kind of sentence could she face? How many years? And then would she serve that here or back in Argentina?
No, she would be facing a maximum of 5 years in prison for her criminal charge. We anticipate at the completion of the investigation, if it is as it appears now, she'll also be cited for civil infractions such as careless driving. That would not result in jail time, but fines. And once we deal with her through the criminal justice system, whether she's sentenced to 1 year, 5 years, probation, at that point in time, Once she's completed her sentence, she'd be turned over to ICE, and ICE would then start the deportation procedures.
We understand she has children here enrolled in school. Is her husband here as well?
Her husband's here, their family's in Argentina.
So would the whole entire family be deported? Or just
The husband is here, as I understand, on a legal work visa. If he's here on a legal work visa, he would simply keep the children here. But my suggestion is that she should have thought about the impact on her family before she operated that motor vehicle without a license, without cleaning the windshield. She was careless, she was negligent, and there's a 13-year-old child that's dead today because of her negligence. And that's who I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about the 13-year-old child that should have been celebrating her birthday in 2 weeks. I'm concerned with the child's family, who forevermore will receive a life sentence of not having their baby here. I'm not concerned with the woman who violated the law, who was here illegally. She has a husband that can take care of those children, her children. There is no way to take care of the victim who's now dead.
I know this is a lot of detail. I don't expect an answer, but let me throw it at you anyway. Any idea what kind of a job she had when she was here, why it expired, how long it has been expired, any of that stuff?
I don't have those details. That ICE should be able to provide that. The information on her being here illegally is supplied to us as a result of an investigation, preliminary investigation by ICE. And we work with ICE to get illegal folks in this country that are committing crimes, felonies specifically, out of this country. But once again, had she not been here, then Mariana's alive. If she was here illegally and not operating a motor vehicle, Mariana's alive. If she'd been here illegally, operating a motor vehicle illegally, and cleaned her windshield, Mariana would be alive. But Mariana's not alive. And Mariana's parents received a life sentence. And it's time for Micaela to be sent back to the country she came from just as soon as she's finishing answering for these criminal charges, these felony charges. Anything else?
So were her kids, did they attend the same school as Mariana?
I have no idea.
Were they in the car with her when the accident happened?
They were. She was taking her children to school.
She has how many?
I don't know. But she clearly violated the laws. Had no problem at all with violating our laws. And now we got a 13-year-old baby that's dead. Am I angry? You bet I am. You bet I am. Explain to Mariana's parents why they don't have their child today. Because she chose to operate a car in violation of the law? Because she was in this country in violation of the law? That's hard to explain to the parent of a dead 13-year-old beautiful girl. Can't explain it to me.
Do we know any of the details of how it happened? Like, was she crossing the road, or did the car swerve off the road, or anything like that?
Mariana was riding her vehicle facing the oncoming traffic. And according to Micaela, she said 80% of my windshield was covered in condensation, and I didn't see her.
We knew about speed or anything like that played a
No,
factor?
it appeared, at this point in the investigation, which is not complete, she appeared not to be under the influence of any drugs or alcohol. She appeared not to have speed as a factor. She simply was careless and negligent and got in this car that she couldn't see out of the front windshield of and drove illegally and was here illegally come on, what are we doing?
Did she say why she chose to drive in with the vision impaired? Because her own kids, she put her own kids
She
at
put,
risk as well.
she put herself and her own kids at risk.
Rush trying to get to school or?
Well, you can't explain that. She doesn't even have a license to drive a car here. You know, she doesn't know how to drive a car here. But you would think anybody could say, hey, self, maybe it's not a good idea to drive a car when you can't see out of the windshield.
And that car, did it belong to her or her husband, or kind of what was?
I don't know who it belonged to, who it was registered to.
Do we know if she had
It was not stolen.
Did she have a driver's license back in Argentina?
I don't have any indication that she did. I don't know. Okay? Thank you very much. One more example. One more example of people in this country illegally committing felonies. There's your sign. Let's do something about it. Okay? Thank y'all. Oh, and let me underscore here.